No one knows why my license is suspended. I am not OOP. OOP is you, Forsaken Power 7870. Originally posted to our legal. No one knows why my license is suspended. Mood spoiler. A nightmare straight out of Jacob Heller's head. Less than. And NBSP. Original post. February 22, 2024. I was pulled over in this morning for running a yellow light. I was ticketed for speeding. And then arrested for a suspended license. Only issue is, no one knows why my license is suspended. PD towed my vehicle and took me to jail. Requirements to be released were to pay the 2 tickets I was just given upon my arrest. 1 for driving under suspension and 2 for speeding. Paid and done. They gave me back my driver's license, stating I would need it to get my car out of impound. Even though it's suspended? I was confused but didn't question. After getting my car, I called the DMV where they informed me my license is in fact suspended, but they're not sure why. It was suspended effective February 14, 2024. 6 days ago? They stated I have no unpaid tickets, no warrants, no nothing that would cause my license to be suspended. And I have to wait until March 15th and pay $50 to have it reinstated? So $1,200 and 5 hours later. I have a mugshot, a suspended license, and absolutely no idea WTF is going on. Any ideas on how to find out what the actual F happened? I have 0 criminal record BTW. Relevant comments. Gosh, if you lost your auto insurance for some reason, perhaps due to non-payment. Some states like Florida will auto-suspend your license. Oop. I called my insurance company and they verified there has been no lapse in coverage. Sir Trent Howell, do you have a common name and maybe they looked up the wrong person? Oop. They verified the suspension with my SS hash. Riot Girl 585, did you have any previous violations that would give you points on your license? Oop, the only violations were the ones written this morning when they arrested me. Commenter asked if Oop had any issues with their names and if any personal details were stolen. Oop. Absolutely insane. I'll look into a lawyer. I've had my social stolen twice as a kid from my mom using it for various reasons. So I wouldn't be surprised if it's something along those lines. And NBSP. Editor's note. Oop has also posted the update twice. One below the original post and other on a separate post. Update. February 23, 2024. Small but equally insane update. I was able to get a copy of my driving record which shows 11 points on my record. In my state, if you accumulate 10 or points in a 5-year span, they suspend your license. There are 4 tickets total within the last 5 years. 2 I know of from several years ago that have been paid and done with. The other 2, about a year apart from each other, are not mine. One is from a neighboring state I've never been to. The other in my home state, but both are vehicles I have never owned and both have different names. But both have my tag number. The same tag I have had on my vehicle for almost 10 years. So I get human error and all, but I went to jail over this. My car was impounded. I have kids that needed to get to school, a job I needed to get to, and because of someone's small mistake I went to jail. I cannot express how livid I am about finding this out. I figured it was something insane, but the fact that I was arrested and everything else that has ensued, I'm just shook. I'm still waiting on contact from an attorney to see how this will all play out, and I will update once I have more information. I appreciate everyone's comments and help in trying to figure this out. Relevant comments. Hippie Lynn, I have to wonder if it's someone from the neighboring state with your license plate number but a different state. And then either the cop who wrote the ticket or whoever entered it in the system didn't note that. The plate was from the other state. Or maybe they converted their systems and the data input got it wrong. That is a really screwed up mistake to make. Especially twice. I'm not sure how you're handling it, but it might be the kind of situation where you reach out to your local or state representative. They can help cut through red tape, especially since it will involve two states. They're obviously not going to help you sue, but they should be able to get it straight and get your car back quickly. I wish you the best. I would be furious. Oops, something I will be looking into once retaining an attorney. I want to make sure I go about it the right way. SM Halbo 1, you need to find out if these tickets are generated from a traffic camera, like running a red light. Also see if they could be parking tickets. A traffic camera could be incorrect, or someone could be using a copy of your license plate. Just a print would be enough to get a ticket. The ticket automatically goes to you in most cases. Might be worth a talk with your local courthouse in the county you received the tickets. You should be able to get a record of the whole thing. Here in Kentucky I can look it up online even. Oop, they were both speeding and I'm waiting on callbacks from both counties on more detail. I got nothing. Am I mistaken, or are you about to claim a good-sized settlement? Oop, I think it'll depend on what I can prove. The arresting agency is going to say they had no way of knowing it was bogus, and I'm sure the other counties will claim clerical error if it was them. If it was an individual being fraudulent, I might be able to make some type of police report for falsifying their tag or something, but I doubt it'll result in any kind of monetary gain for me. Frowning face. I'll probably be able to clear my name, but I feel like I'll get a big womp womp in the end. Oak Advantage 7623, you have been screwed by a friend or a relative who used your information to not have to be responsible for it. Got a brother a bit younger who can't look you straight in the eye. Oop, not that I know of. I have big family but don't have contact with the majority. And most are pretty well off anyways, so I wouldn't see the need to mess with someone like me. And NBSP. This is a repost sub. I am not oop. Well, new fear unlocked. Years ago. I saw a news story years ago about some guy driving around with a white cardboard license and racking up tickets for the unknowing random victim. I wonder if this is the same situation, or if the cops writing tickets screwed up. Because of someone's small mistake I went to jail. Absolutely terrifying how a clerical error results in unnecessary arrest. See, this is why having your registration plates come with the car and randomly generated from a nationally generated system is important. The more I learn about the US, the more horrifying it becomes. I'm sorry, but any seriousness was forever killed when Oops said JAILLL. Twice. Open mouth smile. My uncle just got a bogus red light ticket because his license plate was close to the plate in the ticket. Think Frost versus FR05T. The thing is, his vehicle is a large white SUV and the other vehicle the camera caught was a motorcycle. You'd think they'd look at the footage and then at the registered vehicle to the plate and see they don't match up. Anyway, it's taken numerous calls from my uncle and his wife to get this cleared up over the past month, which in itself is insane. Like, literally look at what vehicle is registered in his name and see it is not a motorcycle. No apology or compensation for the trouble. Just threats along the way and people claiming he's committing fraud. Am I mistaken, or are you about to claim a good-sized settlement? I want to write on some people's foreheads with a Sharpie, being wronged is not a ticket to a payday. This is mainly propaganda from corporations on their quest to make it harder for us to get anything when we're wronged. I hope OOP gets their impound fees back. Not optimistic, but we can hope. If fortune is smiling absolutely giddy. They might get a few bucks, but nothing worth the trouble and stress. What a big nightmare indeed. Jesus Christ, this whole situation really stinks. I can't wait to find out how this all plays out. Open mouth smile. I hope Oop gets hold of a lawyer, because jail time with no grounds is a no-no, and it looks like there might be some fraud and maybe theft happening. Reminds me of the NOPLATE guy. A nightmare straight out of Jacob Heller's head. Who? I'm so glad that I don't drive anymore. Seen in movies, lead actor changing car plate to confuse everyone. Thought it was cool. Didn't think someone else would be paying such a huge price for it. I wonder if Oop has a vanity plate. About a decade or so ago, our car got stolen, and it didn't register as stolen when they ran the tag in the next state over. IDK if they resolved that issue. But it had something to do with it having a vanity plate. We got the car back because it was used in a robbery. But I guess if you steal a car, another robbery shouldn't be so shocking. Little me assumed they stole the car to keep it LMAO despite the car being old and unreliable XD. You're about to get a settlement. Probably not. Reddit doesn't like it when you point out the difference between how things should be versus how things actually are. Long story short, it's very difficult to hold government actors accountable, and in most cases not worth it. Sucks for Oop, but I'll put money on the eventual outcome not coming anywhere close to satisfying. People's Justice Boner. My brother was in jail for almost a year one time because of something like this. He had a court case that was dismissed. Had paperwork showing proof and everything, but somehow they forgot to include that he showed up. So he had a warrant out for missing court for 2 years before he was pulled over and arrested. We had more trouble getting him out though, because they wouldn't let him out until he had court. But the case was dismissed. There was no court. We ended up having to hire a lawyer because they didn't want to admit they forgot to press a button. I had something similar happen. I was in a car accident and failed to produce insurance. I had insurance, but due to a mix-up, did not produce it at the time of the accident, and went to court to get the records corrected. But the cops had written down my license incorrectly, but with my correct name, SSN. My real license wasn't suspended, but my wrong license was. It didn't produce huge issues at the time. But years later, when I moved states, I couldn't get a new license because I was registered as having a suspension. But every time I called my old state to get it fixed, they would insist that my license wasn't suspended in their databases. It was an absolute disaster. Took ages to figure out what the actual problem was. And then I had to pay the state $150 to get my license unsuspended, and was told I would receive paperwork to get reimbursed because it was state error. And I never got the paperwork in the end either. Still not as awful as this person's experience, but I'm still super bitter TBH.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Cast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.